IS is old. This version of the car has been on the market for about 15 years, and its age is evident if you know what to look for. But the thing about the Lexus IS is that its age is precisely what makes it special. It combines an ancient powertrain with modern features, and it's incredible. This is the 2026 Lexus IS 350 F Sport, a car that isn't super sporty but is really, really good. And I'm Alanis King. Let's go for a drive and stick around for the end of this video to get this IS's full report card. The Lexus IS is Lexus's compact sports sedan. It launched in 1998 in Japan as the Toyota Altezza, and it came to America not long after as the IS 300. The idea was for this to compete with other popular compact sports sedans at the time, like the BMW 3 Series, and IS stands for Intelligent Sports. The original Lexus IS had a 2JZ GE engine in it, which was the naturally aspirated version of the ever-popular fourth-generation Supra engine. And that original IS made 215 horsepower. We also got a SportCross wagon variant, and the first generation stayed around until 2005. The second generation of the Lexus IS was a good one. You could get a V6, a V8, optional all-wheel drive, a manual transmission. There were so many options, and it stayed around until 2013. Then we got the third generation, and the third generation, surprise, is still here, albeit with a bunch of refreshes. For many years, the Lexus IS has been available on the American market in two main versions, the IS 350 and the IS 500. The IS 500 has a 5-liter V8, which is where the 500 comes from, and the IS 350 has a 3.5-liter V6, which is where the 350 comes from. This V6 is naturally aspirated, just like the V8 version, and it makes 311 horsepower and 280 pound-feet of torque. That power goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission to the rear wheels, because this car has not had a manual transmission in a very long time, and the final assembly point is in Japan. We have now made it to our brand new segment, Alanis's Tour de Interesting Features, and we start on the outside of this Lexus IS 350. This, like I said, was assembled in Japan, and when you have really a lot of vehicles assembled in Japan, but especially a Lexus or Toyota product assembled in Japan, the paint is going to be so good. This paint is so flat, and not only is it flat, it is also really pretty. Yes, it's primer gray, but it also has this little gold flake in it that just makes it kind of unique looking. And in addition to that, we have red brake calipers, because when you have red brake calipers, that means you're sporty. We now move to the inside of this Lexus IS 350 F Sport, where we have a red interior. And in America, this red interior is exclusive to the plain old F Sport trim. And then we move to this center console area. And this center console area is hilarious because we don't have really any piano black at all, and I can't stand piano black because it gets dirty really easily. But in its place, we have gray linoleum. And it just doesn't look great, but at the same time, at least it won't show dirt as well. Then we get to where we put it in drive and we switch to our different driving modes. So we have Eco, Sport S Plus, Normal, everything like that. When I swap over to Sport S Plus, inside this car, not only does my gauge cluster change to look more like the GR Corolla in its sporty driving modes, but also inside, my exhaust sound changes. But when you're on the outside of the car, whether you are resting or you are revving, that exhaust sound does not change. Another hilarious feature of it is that when I accelerate, I get little burbles inside the car. In Sport S Plus mode, those burbles don't happen outside of the car. A few more interesting features about this Lexus IS 350 F Sport is that up front, that gauge cluster has a substantial delay. So when you hit the accelerator, it will quite literally wait to show you the revs on the screen, which is a little weird because if you're shifting and you're going for red line, it's delayed. That's gonna be odd. In the back seat, I have my own vents, which is wonderful. I have 2 USB-C charging ports down here. I do not have a lot of headroom. I'm 5'8½", so if you're much taller than me, you're not gonna have much fun back here. And I have a rear window shade, which is helpful. Around the back of this Lexus IS 350, we have something very rare among modern cars, Black accents that are actually tasteful. I really like that we have this dark rim around the taillights, but it's not just really out there and in your face. And then we have something that not enough modern cars have, which is normal door handles. Door handles were fine. We didn't need to flatten them and do whatever we did to them with modern cars. This is good. This 2026 Lexus IS 350 is a rear-wheel drive model from the F-Sport trim, but that's a little misleading because every 2026 IS 350 that you can buy in America is some sort of F-Sport, and when everything is an F-Sport, nothing is really an F-Sport. We have the regular F-Sport, the F-Sport design, and the F-Sport special appearance package. And to a degree, all of these are appearance packages, but with this F-Sport, you get a Torsen limited slip rear differential and an available adaptive suspension. This rear-wheel drive IS 350 F-Sport starts at $47,950 US, and this particular one has a few options, such as a panoramic view monitor and parking assist for $1,100, $2,450 19-inch BBS wheels, a $210 power rear sunshade, a $1,090 F-Sport handling package with adaptive suspension and the Torsen limited slip diff, $1,250 triple beam LED headlamps, an $1,120 Mark Levinson audio system, an $1,100 power moonroof, a $620 technology package with driver assistance features like lane change assist, a $1,975 performance exhaust, and a $313 bundle with wheel locks, a key glove, a cargo net, and a trunk mat. After options and fees, the total price on this 2026 Lexus IS 350 F Sport is $60,473 US. We have now made it to the point in every car review where no matter what outfit I'm wearing, I regret the outfit I'm wearing. How many Atlantises can fit in this Lexus IS 350 F Sports trunk? Now the thing about this outfit is that we have a small trunk opening right here, and it's going to be very hard to bend myself in. While I'm doing that though, I like to talk about a vehicle's key. I can't really see this vehicle's key because we have that handy little key glove that someone optioned on here. And I like this key glove. If you're gonna get this vehicle, I tend to find that Lexus and Toyota keys can be a little clunky. Just get the key glove, it looks better. Oh no, oh no. It doesn't help that it's like 100 degrees Fahrenheit outside and I'm wearing a dress. But you'll always get to see the first try, so it's all natural. Oh, okay. You know, you can fit half an Atlantis next to me, but it's pretty tight in here. I can feel the stretch in my legs. 1.5 Atlantises! It's time to drive the 2026 Lexus IS 350 F Sport. And while we drive this car, I want to talk about a few things. The styling and comfort, the controls, the driving experience, and overall, how I feel about this car. We will start with the styling and comfort. The outside of this car, I like the way it looks. It still kind of leans toward old Lexus styling, but oh, I love that older Lexus styling. I think it looks tasteful. I think it still looks modern. It's just good looking without being over the top. Now, one thing that I will note from 2025 to 2026 is that in 2025, the Lexus IS models in America, you had your Lexus logo on the grille. Now for 2026, that Lexus logo has moved onto the hood. And I don't love this change. I think the Lexus logo looked better on the grille, and I think moving it onto the hood makes it kind of look like a Camry or an older model Avalon up front, and it takes away some of that Lexus IS feel that this car has had for so long. So I'm not a super big fan of it. But also on the outside, like I talked about earlier, we just have that incredible paint application and also the really pretty color. So a lot of people don't like primer gray. I also don't like primer gray, but I think the thing that is so unfortunate about grays, blacks, and whites is that automakers sell so many of them in America that they've gotten so good at making them. So every time I get a white, a gray, or a black, I go, oh, that's really well done. Oh, can we just make the real colors this well done? There's this gold flake in this primer gray that I think is really unique and looks really nice. I wouldn't get it, but if you do get it, I respect the color. When we move to the inside of this car, everything looks and feels really nice and luxurious. I don't have too many complaints inside this car. I also love the fact that there's not a ton of piano black inside this car. However, we replaced where automakers would typically put piano black with this gray material in this IS that looks like linoleum. And I cannot stand it. I think it's so ugly. It's just like piano black. We need to burn it. We need to keep it out of vehicles. The only saving grace is that it will not get as dirty and dusty looking as piano black, and I will accept that, unfortunately. The seats are super comfortable in this car up front, but if you move to the back and you are a full-size adult, well, it's not super comfortable back there and you're not going to have a ton of room. Let's talk about the controls in this Lexus IS 350, and I am a big fan. I love that we have a bunch of physical buttons to do climate controls, drive mode, everything like that, and I love that they are easy to reach and easy to see and easy to feel because they're all so different. My volume knob has its own texture, my drive mode selector is its own size and shape, and all of my climate controls are super easy to find and use. Unlike a lot of modern vehicles, we have actual physical buttons and toggles for our climate controls, and I love that they're not on the screen, and I just get to use my screen for Apple CarPlay. That is fantastic. Up front, I have seat heaters, seat coolers, dual zone climate control, and everything like that. And something that I think is really cool about this Lexus IS 350 that I do not experience in a lot of other cars is that usually seat coolers, I can't stand them. I do not like the sound of fans, and I think seat coolers just make this sound, and it's so annoying. Not only do I not like using them in my day-to-day life, but when I'm filming, they're so loud that I feel like I can't use them because they will distract people like you watching the video because they're so loud. The seat coolers in this IS 350 are some of the quietest I have ever experienced. These are the only ones where I have gone, I can actually use these while filming, and it's totally fine. I have them on right now. You can't hear them. I can't hear them. That's fantastic. A couple more minor notes about controls in this Lexus IS 350 is that my shifter in this car to get from park to drive, it's that little zigzaggy motion. And I don't love these shifters in current model Lexuses because they just feel a little light and plasticky. I find this in the Lexus RX 350, I find this in the IS 350, everything like that. They just don't feel super good to put into drive. And then my final note is a great one. My turn signals, ooh, they are so crispy and they are so clicky. And especially in modern vehicles, you don't get a lot of crispy and clicky turn signals. These are really crispy. Ooh, I like them a lot. Now we are going to talk about driving the Lexus IS 350. And I want to say just overall, the thing about the IS 350 and the IS 500 and a lot of current model Lexus sports cars is that they are the perfect combination of an archaic drivetrain and good modern features. And I specify good modern features because you could have a car with an archaic drivetrain and bad modern features, annoying modern features. These are fantastic modern features, and it's so cool as a car enthusiast to be able to get a drivetrain that you like, an old V8, V6, whatever you want kind of drivetrain with nice modern perks, and you can get that in here. So while we drive this car, I want to talk about the things I really like first, and then I'll tell you the things I don't like so much. First thing I love, the ride quality in this vehicle is fantastic. You'll remember that this has the available adaptive suspension, and this suspension is fantastic. It feels like floating. I am on really rough road right now, and I can hear the rough road because the road noise is bad, spoiler for later, but I can't really feel it. It is such a nice ride. This vehicle feels so good. It corners well, it handles well. I really, really like how it feels. This Lexus IS 350 is fun to drive. No, it's not the sportiest car in the world. It doesn't handle the best of every car ever, but it's fun to throw around corners. And not only that, it's also very comfortable on the highway because of the fact that you have almost no wind noise at all, and you have a capacitive wheel. So in modern cars, what you're typically going to have is you're going to have some kind of lane centering assist or lane keep assist or something like that. Lane centering assist is when a vehicle uses all of its available cameras and radars to keep you centered in a lane. And with lane centering assist, you could have several options. You could have hands-on, hands-free, or capacitive. Hands-on requires you to have little amounts of torque on the wheel, right? Capacitive is also hands-on, but all you have to do is rest your hand on the wheel. That's what this is. That's fantastic. So if you're going down the highway and you have lane centering on, you can quite literally rest your hand on the wheel and the vehicle will note that you are paying attention, and that is so good. Now, while you're going down the highway, you will also have a driver attention monitor, and the driver attention monitor in this vehicle, it's a little eager. It really wants to remind you to pay attention to the road, and that can be a little difficult when you have a touchscreen, because if you look for just a second at that touchscreen because you need to change something, it will tell you, hey, you need to pay attention to the road, and that's just not a reality. You sometimes have to glance over at something. So if you want to turn off the driver attention monitor, you can go into your settings and you can turn it off, and it will stay off when you turn the car off and on, which not every vehicle will allow you to do that. Things that aren't the best about this Lexus IS 350. I like the way it corners. I have fun driving it, but also mid-corner you are going to get some body roll. Body roll is basically where a car leans one way or the other depending on the G-forces on that car, and you typically want less body roll because you'll be swaying back and forth in your seat, and it's just better when a car handles in a more planted manner, not a swaying manner. Also, the car isn't super fast, right? It's a naturally aspirated V6, and by 2026 standards, we're just not ripping super hard. And not only are we not ripping super hard, but this vehicle takes premium fuel, and the fuel economy is not awesome. You're going to get about 22 miles per gallon combined, so it sucks down fuel pretty hard. The Lexus IS 350 and the Lexus IS 500 suffer from not having the best transmission in the world. This is an older vehicle, and this transmission is slower to shift, and the actual shifting action is pretty slow. While you might be used to really fast modern DCTs that just shift, this is an old 8-speed automatic, and when it shifts, hold on, we're pulling up to a stop sign, I'll just show you. When it shifts, we are going, ooh. It's kind of quirky, it's kind of fun, but it's not fast at all. Then when you're on the highway, like I said, there's not a lot of wind noise, but there is so much road noise in this vehicle. I'm on a rough road right now, and it is loud. You might be hearing my pros and cons about this Lexus IS 350 and thinking, wow, this is really 50-50. She's down the middle about this vehicle. She likes a lot of it and she doesn't like a lot of it. But I will say that as a whole, I actually really like this vehicle. Yes, my individual likes and dislikes are very 50-50, but I just like the IS 350, and I think it's because it's so charming. And what's so charming about a vehicle like this is that you have that archaic drivetrain and you have those modern features, and it just feels so nice to drive this car because it combines the best of the old and the new. And the thing about a vehicle like this is that it's not going to last very long in this form. Yes, there will be new forms of archaic drivetrains in like 10 years, but this form of archaic drivetrain, whether it's a V6 or a V8 naturally aspirated with this old kind of silly 8-speed automatic transmission, this is just not something that's going to be around in America for much longer, and to be able to have modern features with it is awesome. No, this car isn't super sporty. Yes, it's called the IS 350 F Sport, but it's not the sportiest thing in the world. It's more just a really good luxury car that I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of the price. I'm a fan of the materials. I'm a fan of this car in general. And even if this isn't the most modern vehicle in the world, it has a personality and a soul. And I think that's really cool. Now that we've driven the 2026 Lexus IS 350 F Sport, it's time to give it a grade. Welcome to Alanis's report card. The exterior on this car is an A-. It looks absolutely great. You could say it looks a little old, you could say you're not a fan of primer gray. That's all right. It still looks really good, especially for its age, and it looks great as a modern car. The interior is also an A-. I love it. It's very comfortable in there. Everything feels nice to the touch, but I'm not a fan of that linoleum style stuff in the center console, and also the back seat is just not the most spacious or comfortable. The performance is a B- because unfortunately this is branded kind of as a sports car, but it's just a luxury car. It's very fun to drive, but it's not super fast, and that transmission, it's just not really a modern sports car transmission. It's a little slow to react, it's a little slow to shift, but overall I like driving it. The comfort, this is a new category spurred by this vehicle because we were debating performance versus comfort. This vehicle has amazing ride quality, so I give the comfort on this vehicle an A-. But the reason I'm not giving it a full A is the fact that the back seat is just not the most comfortable thing in the world, even though the front seats are absolutely incredible. The value is also an A- because this starts at $47,000 and this one is $60,000. Honestly, I'm not super against that price for what this car is. It's not the biggest smoking deal that you'll ever find. It's not on clearance or anything like that, but it's a decent deal, and that matters. Would I take this IS 350 on a road trip? Absolutely, I would. Super comfortable, capacitive wheel, great lane centering assist. I have absolutely no complaints there. And overall, this IS 350 gets an A-. It's a great car. Sure, it's a little bit old, but it's really, really good. I love the IS 350 more than I should. It's not a fast car. It's not a modern car. It doesn't even have a manual transmission. Yet there's something special about it. This 2026 Lexus IS 350 F Sport has old bones with modern perks, and that is exactly what makes it so charming. As the years go on, there will be fewer and fewer vehicles like this one, and that's why we need to appreciate it while it's here.